They use the inherent chlorides that is present as a disinfectant. With electrolysis they generate chlorine and hypochlorite. The WESU system has an SMS system that gives you warning if there's any parameters that are out of the required area that it must be in. It comes in handy because our current control SCADA system, we don't have that function to send it. We have the facility but we don't use it. So what happens now is if there's, for instance, a power failure, I know about it because the WESU system warns me that there's no air supplied to the instrumentation valves, or that there's not enough, the power is down to the electrodes. So I'm getting a pre-warning, so when my my shift foreman phones me to tell me there's a power problem, I could tell him, okay, you've stopped that time you had a power failure, how's it going? So I'm sort of pre-warned and I have more insight, so they find it strange that I know so much about what's happening on the plant. So yes, it's an additional benefit. Well, my operators don't have any need to go there, so it doesn't use any operators at this stage. When the WESU system was installed, we told the operators just what it is so that they knew what the equipment was standing there for. At the beginning we were monitoring the flow rates just to make sure that it was working, and it was, when the people were comfortable with it, that it's not a strange piece of equipment there, it was really left on its own. So there was no real cost in terms of training or needing to train people to operate on an hourly basis. As long as the water flow is going through, nobody tampers with the valves, it runs by itself. It resets itself, it flushes itself. So it's auto-control equipment that is being monitored by WESU off-site, so they get all the parameters. If there's something goes wrong, they would phone us, and if we need to fix something, we can, via the phone, they will tell us, okay, there's a problem there, and we will maintain it. In the beginning there was one or twice a problem like that, but for the last couple of months that was never really an issue. So yes, it's a self-monitoring and self-maintained piece of equipment. The comparison where you really can compare it in terms of what benefits is the cost in terms of chemicals, the fact that you don't need chemicals. So if you look at the safety, inherent safety of the system, you don't have to worry about people being poisoned by extra chemicals that's now situated on your plant. There's less movement of material through because it's a security place. You don't want too many people moving through, so that's additional benefit. You don't have to, as I said, we don't have to worry about the inherent risk of poisons to the bacteria. The costing in terms of maintenance is lower. We don't have to pay for chemicals. So yes, cost-wise it's a saving. Efficiency in terms of electricity, it's a saving because we're using less electricity due to the pumps being the heat transfer rates are more efficient because of less scaling. So yes, there's a lot of safety, cost and safety and inherent factors that are making it more viable than the other process, the chemical dosing process. Now we have 5 cooling towers installed on the plant. So we've installed this system on our main two cooling towers, which cools down our 2 main reactors, where most of the heat is being generated. I would say 80% of the heat is generated there. So we've installed it in the worst case place, and that's where we've been running it, and we've been trialing it. We will at some stage look at seeing if we can use the excess cooling capacity on the others. There's 2 options. We can either stop one of the fans, one of the cooling towers, or we can try and put the water through some extra reactors and then close down one of the other cooling towers. That is still in a trial period, so we will look at using that efficiency on another place. and reduce the amount of cooling towers that we are running. At this stage, we've already got the benefit of one pump. We will now see if we can effectively close another fan from the cooling tower as well. The Biox Club. There's a couple of mines in the world that's using the Biox technology. We're the only ones in South Africa, unfortunately, but we've referred the WESU to them where they have similar problems and told them to give the system a fair trial. It's working here and it should work in the different areas. So we've already referred them to Kazakhstan, where there's also a gold mine which uses the Biox. They also have very bad scaling problems. So yes, I'm happy to refer them to different customers as well.